Man, it is so peaceful right now. I remember standing down there with Dad and watching the game. That's a blessing.
The stadium rocks and swings. Oh my God! Oh my God! The stadium is worse than bonkers. I can't believe what he did.
I'm not going to be able to sit in those seats tonight without thinking about him and how I wish he was sitting with me.
If you grew up on Georgia football, you grew up at Sanford Stadium. You grew up with UGA. And if you're 3 generations of the Woods family, you grew up between the hedges and between the ears.
Sometimes there's knots and dents in the ball head, and your brush goes a different direction than you're expecting.
You're saying I got a dented head?
You and your dad both did.
I turned it into my Bulldog truck.
My whole life has been nothing but Georgia football, you know, family and Georgia football.
Nobody loved Georgia football more than Trent Woods' grandfather, Lonnie. At the 1980 National Championship game, Lonnie began wearing his heart on his head.
From that point forward, the rest of my life, I mean, it's just always been like, hey, my grandfather's the guy that paints Bulldog on his head. As a 5-year-old kid, I thought it was awesome. It was part of what we did.
Lonnie Woods died in 1986, and the head painting seemingly died with him.
I remember as a kid going to the games with my dad and people coming up to him and saying, you know, hey, Mike, you ought to paint your head like your dad. My dad would always, you know, like, hey, one day I'll do that.
One day arrived in 1995.
I was in bed and I heard him yell and he was like, Trent, come on, let's go to the game. And when I walked out of my room, I looked and I was like, you got to be kidding me, you know, and I saw the Bulldog on his head.
That's exactly what the Dog's gonna do to the Tigers right there tomorrow. And then I went, ah! I'm gonna help them. Get them, Dogs. Sing them. Ho, 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 ho. Sing them.
When Dad first started, I would be the cameraman. You know, I was always taking pictures of Dad with people.
This is my baby boy, Trent Woods. He'll take over for Big Dog 2 and be Big Dog 3.
Over the course of 3 decades, Mike Big Dog Woods made his presence known. But it was his absence that moved Bulldog Nation.
The Bulldog Nation is mourning the loss of a superfan today.
Mike Big Dog Woods, best known for painting his head just like the team's mascot, passed away.
We're told that Big Dog's son, Trent, will carry on the family's head painting tradition.
My dad was my best friend, not just my father. I wish I could tell him how proud of him I am.
Beginning on September 2nd, 2017, Trent Woods officially became Big Dog III.
When I started walking up, I heard the fans cheering. And I realized they were cheering for me. My heart melted that people showed how much they cared.
I loved your dad.
Thank you.
The canvas that is Trent Woods' head will be on exhibit today and for seasons to come. After all, a promise is a promise.
Oh, this is the next one. This is the next one right here. Go, dog. Oh, oh, oh.
For me, Georgia football is my grandfather and my father. Then the game. Thank God for Georgia football because that's what I got to do with my family. That's why I'm here, is to keep this tradition going.